Hey up guys, welcome back. Part number 3 of my home office slash shed building experience. So last week we did the foundation and the base and basically the subfloor. Today we're actually going to build the storage shed. So again, this is the secondary shed to put all the current stuff from my existing shed into here so I can start work on my new workshop slash home office slash YouTube studio. So yeah, we're going to build this shed. It's a it was pretty cheap. It was about $289, I think, from Wayfair. It's an 8x6 metal shed, and yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Right, as I mentioned, last week we built the foundation, the base. It took about 10 hours. So supposedly put instructions, this shed takes about 5.5 hours to build. Now, spoiler alert, I'll put a link to what I bought in the description. It looks a nice shed. It's really cheap, and every single piece was covered in plastic film to stop it scratching. So there's literally dozens of pieces. You have to rip plastic off, and it wasn't easy. You had to pull in little pieces. It took forever. So I already have about 6 to 8 hours of just pulling plastic off already before we even start here. Now, I did have some child labor to help me. They really enjoyed pulling the plastic off. So health and safety wise, the ends are pretty sharp. So I pulled the edges off where it's sharp, and I just pulled the middle off. And yeah, my 2 girls there did great work and helped me get this through. So about 6 to 8 hours of just peeling plastic, which sucks. So did that, and obviously built the base already. It's pretty simple, put instructions. It's like the first 5 steps. So just a metal frame, and I just put a screw in each corner just to hold it down so it doesn't move around. Now I didn't put it quite centered on my pad. I put it slightly over, so I thought, oh, I got like a little shelf here if I want to put any pots or anything off the ground, or any bags of mulch or anything. I can use that as like a shelf or a ledge. So just kind of taking a step back, if you didn't see part number 2, this shed is slightly smaller than 8x6, but I built the base for 8x6, knowing if I want to change the shed out in the future, I've got the base ready to go. And the flooring, I'd have to reconstruct it or make any changes. So if this shed's shot in 2 or 3 years in the storm and I buy a new one and it's a little bit bigger, we'd have to worry about the base. That's 10 hours of work and expense already done. So what I'll say is, the very final part of this, once we're done with the whole project, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to go through every single dollar amount, line by line, what I spent, how much it cost me. Now that will be a Patreon exclusive video only, or YouTube channel members. So if you haven't done so, please join my Patreon. Link is below, and you'll be able to see that video once the project's finished at the very end. So yeah, so this is where we're at. So I've simply, again, just 4 screws. I wasn't sure if this is even square, so just hold it in so it doesn't move around. Just use 2-inch deck screws. And yeah, so from here, we've got the base on. Now we can pretty much build the sides. So I'm going to get to work, get some of the parts out, and start putting this thing together. All right, so about another hour's work, and I've got the sides on and starting working way along the back there. Not too much issues. I'd probably recommend maybe wearing the gloves they bring you. I did cut myself on one of them slightly, but I'm wondering if the gloves kind of impede holding the screws. So the biggest challenge here is just putting a nylon washer onto every screw. There's so many screws, and cutting the nylon washers off, it's just time consuming. Actually put the panels up themselves and drilling, no problem at all. I got a really good Milwaukee drill driver, and I recommend, anything like this, obviously you have a good quality drill driver, and replacement batteries and stuff. So just zipping through, yeah, about an hour. I've got a few panels, 3 or 4 more panels on the back and a couple panels on the front. But yeah, going together okay. I'm not sure. I'm going to reserve judgment until it's built. Right now, it does seem a little flimsy. Has holes on the bottom for the screws. The top just has like a groove you drill into. So I'm not sure exactly how strong that is. If you live maybe in Florida or Tornado Alley, maybe this isn't run for you, but we'll see. Again, I know I've built these things before, they seem really flimsy, but once you got all the framework and the roof together, they kind of sturdy up a little bit. But yeah, so moving along, no real issues. The screws are lining up. I know on some of the reviews, people left 1-star reviews saying the screws don't line up. I bet the problem is the bits along the top there, I bet they have upside down, so the screw aren't right, they're not lined up properly is what I'm guessing. So it's probably user error. But so far everything's lining up. The back beam is nice. It does have the metal back beam, does have screw holes on the top, so that's making a little bit more sturdier. And yeah, just basically panel at a time putting it in. And again, time is just putting these little nylon washers onto every screw, which I'm guessing is to prevent rusting, right? And just yeah, that's really just delay right now. So I'm gonna break for lunch, come back, and I think by the end of the day, hopefully have all the sides on, and then come back tomorrow and do the roof. So yeah, we're making good progress. About 4 hours in now on construction on the main shed, and it's starting to get a little bit cold as we get later in the afternoon here. So I think I'm almost done for the day and come back tomorrow and I'll finish it off, no problem at all. The doors need I think I can build the doors inside this evening in the house in the warmth, and then just bring them out and attach them. But yeah, so basically just the roof left to do. I put the trusses on, the big metal kind of trusses. They're a little bit finicky, trying to get lined up, but we got them on no problem at all. Just sliced my finger on one, so I had to get some Neosporin and Band-Aid out. So yeah, got a little bit injured in the process. But the gloves, it comes with gloves, but it's kind of like double-edged sword. The gloves help protect against the sharp edges, but you can't pick up the washers or the screws, the dexterity-wise. So I mean, so for me, I couldn't use them. So I did doing this on my own. I don't have anybody to help me right now. And you can see, no problem at all doing it on your own. It's a little tricky, some of the roof pieces, but just holding it and getting the screws in place real quick, you can do that. So yeah, 4 hours so far on my own. The instructions say 5.5 hours, and I think that's probably pretty much straight on what it will be. Now, there's 104 screws going in for the roof panels, so it's quite a lot of screwing left to do. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to do a couple of panels on the roof here and call it a day. I think it'll come back tomorrow. Now, the instructions do say that you do one side of the roof and come back and do the other side. I'm thinking it might be easier once I get ladder out inside here, just do maybe 2 or 3 panels from the front to back on each side, so I can use the ladder and get from the inside and get those screws on the top, and then last couple of panels do from the outside at the back on the ladder. So yeah, I'm gonna do it that way. So I think I'm gonna do say 3 panels out of 5 on the left, then 3 on the right, and then take the ladder out and then work on the outside, because it's gonna be hard to reach over and get those top ones otherwise, I think. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna get these couple panels on, and I'll come back with an update once they're done. Okay, so 6 foot up a ladder right now onto the roof, and yeah, it's still day number 1. I figured, you know what, I'm just going to plow on and get this done before it gets dark. So got 1, 2, 3, I can't think, 7 or 8. Is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Got 9 or 10 roof panels on, and no real issues. What I'm noticing is, though, as you put each panel down, you can't just go across one line and go across the other line, because it doesn't quite line up. It's kind of very flexy and kind of bends and stuff. So you got to do like 1, middle, top, middle, to like each kind of row at a time. Because I say, if you do a whole like top and then middle, it just doesn't all line up. So that's one thing I found. So again, if people are having problems with lining up, that's maybe something to help you there as well. And another thing I'm noticing is, I'm a normal sized human being. I don't have alligator arms. How am I going to reach in the middle there to get those screws in? I have no idea yet. So I can't climb on this. It's no way going to support my weight. This thing will just capsize. And maybe I might just be able to reach across there, lean on it. But yeah, I don't know, whatever the opposite of alligator arms are, that's what you need. So comments below, what's the opposite of alligator arms? And then put instructions. It's like building models. You don't follow the instructions necessarily, because it's not always taking the right direction. If I did all this side and then all this side, I would have got boxed in again and be stuck in the middle. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then brought my ladder into the inside, and then did this one, and then this one from the inside, and took ladder out, and then from the outside, I then can do boom, 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 boom. So that's kind of had it. So two end ones from the ladder on the outside, ladder on the inside to the middle ones, and then ladder on the outside to 2 end ones. Again, I don't have massive 6-foot arms to reach the middle, and this isn't going to support my weight. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I got 1 more panel to go, and then I guess got to really lean over and try to get those 3 screws in. Obviously put the other one on here too for the center here. Okay, the day is done. The sun's setting and I plowed on. It's day number 1, and we've got the shed built. Just got to build the doors, which I can do inside, and I think we're pretty much done. So just a quick note, the little white things on the corner there, you don't use washers, because I was having a hard time trying to get them drilled in. Just screws, no washers, and not white corner kind of caps. Did manage to reach just full stretch. Managed to reach that screw right in the middle of the roof there, and got that one in, no problem at all. And yeah, we're all done. So been a long day. I think I've probably got about 5 hours into this, maybe longer. I'll check when I get inside my notes. But yeah, I can build the doors in the comfort of the heat of the house tonight, and then come back tomorrow, put them on, and we'll be done. So yeah, a lot of work grafting there, but it's looking pretty good. And I did just measure again, just for sanity's sake, took the spirit level out, and we are fully level as well. We didn't sink or anything. We are good. So yeah, and it's looking pretty sturdy too. I gave it a little bit of a shake, and we're looking in good shape. It's not like too flimsy at all now. The whole structure's put together. And there we go. Last screw and we're done. Let's make sure the door closes. Finished. So yeah, this thing is pretty sturdy now it's together. It took me roughly, I think, about 6 manpower hours to build the shed itself, but it took me another 6 hours to remove that annoying plastic. So plastic, obviously you can do it in the house, watching TV over a few evenings, watching a movie or whatever, just peel the plastic off. But just beware, that plastic has to come off, and probably before you start the project, cut all those nylon washers. Again, that's probably a 15-30 minute job, just cut the washers off. Once you got that, the thing just goes together pretty well. All the holes lined up okay. As I talked throughout this video, there's a couple of steps where I think people may have gone wrong. So, you know, these beams across here, if you put them the wrong way around, it's not going to line up the holes. And when you put the roofing panels on, you can't just go across the line, top, then middle, and then bottom. You got to go in order, like top, middle, top, middle, top, middle, or middle, top, each line at a time, because this thing flexes. If you do that, it'll line up, no problem at all. And again, yeah, pretty happy with it. We'll see how it lasts, but it's with the price I got, a 10% Wayfair coupon, it was like I think about $290 shipped to my house for an 8x6. Obviously spent a little bit more money on the base, and as I mentioned, last video of the series, I'll go for all the pricing, Patreon exclusive for this, and plus my main project. So now this is built and looking pretty nice. I'm loving the color too, the dark gray. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. One last job to do is to empty my shed out into this one and start cutting these shrubs down. Once that's done, we can get on the fun stuff and start actually working on the workshop / whatever you want to call it, studio. Just call it a studio next week. So thank you for watching. If you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel out, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks again. Have a great week. Bye.